Hello everyone, this is Cross. What I'd like to talk to you about today is my Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition character build, and this is going to be aimed at wild magic sorcerers. What I've done is gone on stream, and I spent a little bit putting together a character build for you guys to try out. Now the challenge presented to me by my community was to include the wild magic sorcerer. My community is very aware of how much I dislike the wild magic sorcerer, so they wanted to see if I could come up with something viable, something that I would like. And while overall my feelings of the wild magic sorcerer have not really changed, what I did come up with is an interesting build. Now some of you may have heard of the paladin sorcerer combo. I feel like this turned into a pretty interesting concept. And so I just kind of want to run it through real quick with you guys and just give you the breakdown of what I eventually came up with. So there is a Twitch VOD that links the entire process of designing this build and why I made certain choices. The link will be in the description below, but if you don't want to watch that and you just want to get right down to the meat of it, here's what I did. So I used Point Buy to create the character, and then I picked an Azamar, and I believe it was the Fallen Azamar with the +1 to strength, and I started off with a Paladin. So we go 2 levels of Paladin and immediately go into Sorcerer. The plan is to go for Sorcerer for the rest of your career. Now you're looking at this and going, well, why is this character not level 20? Well, let me tell you. In all of my character builds, what I try to do is design builds around a level that I believe that people will get to and be able to enjoy the build. Level 8, I feel, should be able to be reached, and then you will have a few levels of being able to play this build, most likely before either your campaign shuts down or you finish a module or whatever. There's just a lot of reasons why level 8 just feels good, and then you can start making some changes past level 8 that kind of more suits the campaign. So that's why I kind of go for this level 8 design. I didn't pick any skills. This is for you to pick your background choice, your skills, whatever sort of character concept you're going for is all shaped by skills and perhaps even changing some of these stats around. The core stats being Strength, Constitution, and Charisma. I highly suggest you at least keep these. So, what I went with is for fighting style, I actually picked the defense fighting style out of Paladin to give me an extra +1 AC. This character is going to be, I played around in the stream with a great sword concept. I didn't enjoy it. I instead decided to stick with the long sword and shield, get myself up to a 19 AC, and hopefully you can get higher with some better equipment, but a 19 AC with just starting equipment is very nice. And then you will have the long sword, you'll have your to hit bonus, and then you will have tons of spell slots to be able to fuel your, let's go ahead and clear these out, to fuel your smites, your divine smites. So here's what's going on. We have our first 2 levels of Paladin. We get our Divine Smite. Immediately go into Sorcerer. We're picking Wild Magic Sorcerer. And at that point, we can just declare advantage on anything that we're trying to do. Saving throws, attack throws, saving throws, attack rolls, and skill checks. And then we have also, with our Sorcerer, this is where we're going to go ahead and get Booming Blade. And these are the cantrips that I chose. The core one, the main one, is Booming Blade, and I liked Chill Touch just because, and then Light and Message. With the Paladin Sorcerer combo, you have quite a few level 1 spells that you can memorize. You can memorize from the Paladin list. You get known spells from the Sorcerer list. For Thematic Flare, I chose Chaos Bolt over Magic Missile or Chromatic Orb. And I chose Chaos Bolt because if you were deciding to twin Chaos Bolt, you would have two different attacks that if you rolled the same number on the 2d8s on damage, it could arc to another attack, essentially giving you potentially a guaranteed 2, but a sort of a chance of rolling where you would get a third attack. And in theory, yes, you could roll the same damage number on both attacks and then bounce them and have 4 attacks for that round. Highly unlikely, but it could happen. Just as it could happen that those next 2 attacks also proc the other 2 attacks and you get another 2 attacks. It could get pretty outrageous, but highly, highly, highly unlikely. Don't go into this spell thinking that you're going to get a bounce every time. Go for the guaranteed, understand what you're doing, and you're getting the 2d8 plus 1d6. If it procs, great. But if it doesn't, it's not a failure, so don't feel like that. You've got shield, so we've already got a 19 AC. Shield would bring us up to 24 until the start of our next turn. We've got access as this combo to cure wounds, so we can heal. We can bless with our concentration, increasing our saving throws and our attack rolls, helping us get those divine smites a little bit more. And we have a little bit of on-demand resistance for our defensive capabilities. So our defenses are very high, AC very high. We have some offensive capability. We have some really high burst damage for single target burst damage. We're adding to our defenses with Mirror Image and Misty Step in the level 2 spell slots as we level Sorcerer up. Our meta magic choices are Twinned and Quickened, and I will tell you that here in a minute why I decided with those choices. Normally, I really suggest not taking those 2 combinations. Take one or the other, Twinned or Quicken, and then get something else to kind of help you with your utility. But in this very specific case, having Twinned and Quicken actually help out quite a bit, and I'll show you why. Mirror Image, Misty Step, and then Haste in the level 3 slot. Fireball is a choice. So Fireball actually, with this combination at this point, we have the ability of doing some really good single target damage, a little bit of damage on 2 targets. We can cast from a long range, but mostly we have some healing utility. This character is very much a utility character. It can do a little bit of single target damage. It can heal when needed. It can stay in the back line and do some range. So it's got a lot of different tricks that it can do based on the situation. But what it can't do all the way up until level 3 spell slots is actually do an AoE and clear out a lot of little minions. That's your real weakness. So I tried to shore that up with Fireball. The other option, though, here is taking the level 3 spell Fear, which will allow you to just AoE Fear the whole group, and there's some really cool interactions there. From Paladin, I really liked Wrathful Smite. If you don't have a concentration spell up yet, you can queue up Wrathful Smite with your bonus action and attack and cause this fear that's very hard to get out of. They have to use their action to break free of it, so very nice. And it's a wisdom save, so also fairly nice. And because we are Paladin Sorcerer, our charisma works for both spell saves. The other thing we can do is with Booming Blade, we can twin Booming Blade and essentially get 2 different attacks, and then you can bonus action Booming Blade with Quickened, essentially giving us, so if you're in a situation where there are 2 opponents within 5 feet of you, you can Booming Blade both of them, and if they move, you get the extra 2d8 on both of them, and then you can actually bonus action Booming Blade another target or one of those 2 targets that maybe you hit or miss, and just add on the extra d8s from that. That costs quite a bit of sorcery points. You can only do that a couple of times at this level, but you've got the 4th level spell slot that you don't have any 4th level spells that you could fuel your sorcery points if you need more than that. And you should really conserve that for when you absolutely need to make sure that happens, or you've got a couple of really tough foes and they're in your face. You can go in, do this trick, and then back out, and then try to let your party continue the fight while you either go at ranged, stick with Booming Blade, or do the Chill Touch or Chaos Bolt, whatever you want to get into at that point. And you can up level Chaos Bolt all the way up. The other sort of interaction here is with Aasimar, you get Lay on Hands healing, and you also get Lay on Hands from your Paladin as well. At some point in time beyond this point, you may want to consider taking that 3rd level of Paladin. That would be kind of your option. I would think that it would happen beyond level 10 at some point. If I was going to take a 3rd level of Paladin, getting all the way up to 5th level sorcerer spells probably should be a priority. But you'll get a feel for that in your campaign once you get beyond this point. With this character build, you should be able to go into melee. High AC should be able to resist attacks, basically making them waste their attacks. You have shield to kind of shore up your defenses there a little bit. You've also got mirror image that kind of is a little bit of crit prevention. As soon as mirror image runs out, you can Misty Step away and become a ranged character. Essentially, take a little bit of damage until you feel comfortable, then back off. You can heal yourself. If it so happens that one of your wild magic surges proc the fireball, ideally you're hoping to be more in the face of the enemy than near your party. So keep that in mind. Look at the negatives of wild magic. Also, at this level, you can spend a couple sorcery points to minus their saves or increase attack rolls or saves of your allies just basically for free. So having Bless and the meta magic kind of working, not the meta magic, the wild magic level 6 feature working together gives you a lot of increases. And if you have somebody in your party with Great Weapon Master or Sharpshooter, you could be giving them a lot of plus to hit and really trying to make sure that those attacks land. I hope you guys enjoy this build. If you have any more questions or just want to see the design process of this a little bit more in depth, go check out the description below. Leave your comments for any sort of questions of wouldn't it be better if or whatever. I spent quite a bit of time going over a lot of different options with this and finally settling on this. I don't feel a whole lot of room for swapping out some of these spells. Command is also one of those. I've recently seen Command work very well in those low enemy count fights where you were just denying one of them their action with Command, and it actually working quite often. The creature was flying, and just commanding them to come back to you was worth more than trying to do anything else. And it was also wasting the action of the creature. So check it out. I suggest you try it out as is in your game. Just kind of see how it feels. Let me know how it works. And I really hope that you guys have a good time playing with this. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.